Hey guys, Hamas28 here, and today we're taking an early look at Fort Triumph, brought to you by Cookie Bite Entertainment. Fort Triumph is a tactical RPG. It's essentially XCOM, but in a fantasy setting with a focus on environmental interactions. Now, I'm not the largest fan of tactics games like XCOM or Fire Emblem, mostly because of my lack of foresight when it comes to actual tactics and strategy. Not that great at thinking ahead. But nonetheless, I can try my best at these games, and I can usually have a good time with them. Now, this title actually had a very successful Kickstarter campaign back in April of last year, so it's pretty interesting to see how this game is turning out now. Let's take a quick look at the settings and see what's up. This is in early alpha. It hasn't even hit early access on Steam yet. It's going to be coming out in the upcoming weeks. As you can see, they have quality options, fastest, maximum, so essentially your basic Unity options if you've ever messed around with the Unity editor. Resolutions, they accompany all types. Of course, we're on 920 by 1080p, but does not support, by the looks of it, anything past what your monitor supports. This one does have G-Sync, but that's not enabled. Music sound effects, they are really loud. I've turned them down quite a bit, and just like compared to what I'm hearing, it's quite something. Cinematics on or off. I'm going to keep them on just for the sake of the video, but when I do play it in my own time, I turn those off just because they are a bit repetitive in what they have available to play right now. Game speed, very important depending on how you like to play your games and like watch the movements. At times 1, it's pretty fine, but I'm usually playing at 2.5 or 1.5. I'll do it at 2.5 just to at 1.25 just to compromise. But let's jump in and see what this game is about. So now that we're in game, we're greeted with this pseudo cutscene. As you can see, there's these skeleton guys and this Gaimar the Pompous. Please, mercy, I don't want to die. Zaron the Revile, the skeleton by the looks of it. Are you saying there's something wrong with being dead? Another death negative bigot. Yeah, show him who's boss, Zaron. Oh, this guy has 2 swords, that's why he's the boss. No, please, wait. I have information about the breach. So that's obviously something to do with the story. I have no idea what the story is. Oh, look, a new guy. Cloud the agoraphobic. I don't know what agoraphobia is. Probably something to do with his character. Stop this at once, Zaron. I'm sorry about him. He's having some mid-death crisis. I can help you, but you need to tell me what you know. Yes, just promise to let me go if I tell you. I beg of you. Why, of course, go on. A bunch of stuck-up mages passed by some days back. They stayed at the inn, had a bit too much to drink, and started talking about a breach or a tear or an excavation, something like that. Come morning, they headed southeast. Please, that's all I know. Oh, that is just what we're looking for. Now then, for your reward. I assume he's gonna kill him. Yep, that's usually what happens in these type of stories. See, did I not tell you these dim-witted buffoons will fall for the good undead menace, bad undead menace routine? Ah, so you're common good cop, bad cop. Your work is a marvel to behold, sir. I'll be leaving immediately for Fort Triumph. You stay here, rally our forces, and follow suit. And as for this corpse, no point of getting it waste. Cutscene, he's a skeleton now. There's a lot cutscene. Some of it's funny. I've seen it like 4 times already, so it kind of gets old. As you can see, it's pretty much exactly like XCOM, or very much like that new Mario X Rabbids game that I saw on Switch. That one was also pretty good. So you move around the map using WASD. So WASD, quite easy. Navigate with the mouse. And as you can see, top left, it's mostly explained in the tutorial, but I didn't think to play it. Shows your current party members. You have a mage, a berserker, a knight, and an elven archer. Pretty standard. You have essentially 2 tanks and 2 range. These blue bars under their health bar is their action points. Why they didn't just do a 2 out of 2 and a 1 out of 2 is beyond me. But essentially, each action you take will consume an action point. As you can see, this is the minimum range, well, the maximum range that a unit can move with 1 action point. If you extend beyond it, it'll consume 2, but you can move farther in a single turn. You have hotkeys 1, 2, 3 all the way up to 0, I believe, if you have that many options. And each one comes with an associated cost. Mostly from what I've seen, all damage abilities will use up all remaining AP. So you're usually better off moving the character first and then attacking rather than just attacking. You usually don't want to stop moving, especially if your ranged units are getting attacked by melee units. You can just click on them to change who you're controlling first. Generally, I like to move the tanks first, just because if I aggro anything hidden in the fog of war, they're going to be the first ones to get attacked. Let's see, we're going to move into cover. You do also rotate the camera with Q and E, so let's move these guys into cover. So I'll move Emmeline Tough Spleen over here, right click to confirm action. Move Abigail into cover. Move her right here. There isn't any high ground, so I'll just move the archer behind this tree. And I'll move the mage behind this box. Now, as you can see, when you put them next to cover, these shields pop up. The brown shield with the iron trim means that's about half defense, which means they're only partway covered, while something like the tree will give full defense, which is a lot better when trying to dodge ranged attacks. There's a skeleton. Skeletons are taking their turn. See, that looks like a ranged one. Moving back, and it went into Overwatch. Overwatch on a range unit just means if I move my units into range, it can get hit. So luckily, it looks like his range is only about here. So anything behind this fence he can't actually hit. So at the top you can see your accuracy and some multipliers that essentially affects if your attack's going to hit. When you highlight the enemy, it gives you how much damage you're going to deal, how much action points it's going to use, and the percent to hit. So in this case it's 27 because my 100% accuracy times the distance of 0.89, but he's in cover reduces it by 30%. So I'd be better off moving her over here with one action point. That way there's no obstruction between the mage and that skeleton. Now if I use Zap, you can see the range of Zap, it's quite large. You do need direct line of sight though. And something that's also good to know is up here, it shows you the accuracy you have on all things within range. So these two skeleton weaklings both have an 80% chance to get hit, while the skeleton archer isn't in view. Let's see, we're gonna zap this guy for 80% down, 80% chance to hit, 5, that one-shots him. And then using Abigail, 3 to 4, so it's not gonna kill it, but the archer should be able to finish it off. Let's see. Oh, yep, I can move her here. This does 5 to 6. And the reason that this ability does 5 to 6 damage, but on him it shows 2 to 3, is because he did what your melee units can do, which is basically bulk up, and they will take 50% reduced incoming damage for the next turn. That's something very useful to do when you can expect a ranged unit to try to get a shot off on them. Now I can try and move Emmeline into range, but because of the Overwatch, she could get shot. Let's see, let's go for it. Because while Overwatch is active, she still kills her. Well, kills it. Okay, enough story. There are random chests that I have found. And by random, I mean this map somewhat changes a bit. There's some level of procedural generation in that you start off in a bit different places. Like I know sometimes I would spawn in an area kind of like that. So this way onto this guy. So each map is a bit different, even through similar playthroughs. Let's bring our mage over here. See, Emmeline, need you to go into cover over here. The reason you don't want to just move them straight to the objective is because of that. You never know who's hiding in the fog of war. Let's see, I need to move you in a cover. You shouldn't be able to get over here and get an attack off. You do not want your range units to ever get hit. Very dangerous, you need them, they're your best DPS. Bring you over here in a full cover. And bring the archer around this way. Let's see, this guy is ranged. It looked like there's actually two. There's this guy. Where's the archer? I can't actually see where he is. That means he's in the fog of war somewhere. Now, because I know that they are in this direction, I can move her behind this tree and hopefully get an easier time getting up to them. Oh, there he is. Slightly hidden in the fog of war. A mechanic that does exist, if a melee unit gets in range of these ranged units, they cannot attack. So that's always good to know when thinking about strategy. Let's see. So Abigail is over here. She shouldn't be in range because of this box, maybe. She might still be. Okay, so she wasn't in range. Like an inch or closer. There's probably enemies over there, so I'm going to hold off on moving her closer for now. Move Abigail behind this tree. That is a lot of distance, so the chances she gets hit is quite low. Yep. Get 2 overwatches blown, missed both times. Let's see, lightning strike is in range. It's only 50% chance to hit though. But they did both blow their overwatches, so I can actually move Emmeline into range here and maybe attack these guys. Nope, neither of them are in range, so the most I can do is move her right next to them. Because as you can see, now they have this indicator that they can no longer attack, which means that I can now move Abigail closer as well. And I can easily move her into range to get some shots off, because they will have to move out of range. Let's see, for her, I'll put her closer. I was thinking about dropping her in an Overwatch, but it's only about a 50-50 to hit. Along with that, oh, if only she was closer. And you missed that, nice. Something I also forgot to mention, your melee units generally have this ability. It will attack an enemy moving from a tile within reach. It only activates once per turn. That's also why they're very effective against range units, because they have to, the range units have to move if they want to get an action off. And usually, as soon as they move, that's enough. They can do enough damage from that attack to kill them. Now the objective is this, so I can actually get up here and open it. This show gives us Stevens, looks like he's a member of the clergy. Thank you for the rescue. 'Tis our duty and honor, and who might you be? I'm not good with female voices. My name is Stevens. I performed the mayor's accounting duties, keeping concise yet effectual records of parchment, scrolls, books, and sometimes on more exciting days, ledgers. Oh wow, that sounds like what I do in my accounting major. Yada yada, breach, more story stuff. And let's see, they are both swordsmen, so I can focus on just bringing them up closer for now, because there's no risk of them getting attacked. Let's see, bring you up over here. Oh, there's actually a chest. Let's open that chest up. The chest usually has a random potion or item in it. In that case, it was a speed potion that lets you move more tiles with less action points. Move you over here. How far can I move you? I can move her over here. That's good enough. And Stevens, he actually doesn't have an icon, but he does have a heal, which is very nice. It heals 4 to 5, so I can use it to fully heal up Emmeline. Does have a long cooldown. Now they're over there. We're gonna plant her. Let's see. Oh, I'm actually out of action points, but the reason the turn hasn't auto-ended was because there is this third bar that accumulates experience, and once it's full, you can level them up and gain a new ability. So in this case, you're always given the option of 2 abilities, Bloodlust, dash and slash. It's not always these abilities. Let's see. The Savage becomes frenzied, doubling the damage inflicted by and to her. Dash and slash allows the Savage to move one more time before performing an action. See, that's very good. The other one lets you deal double damage, but you also take double damage. It's only really good if you're going to try and nuke down an enemy very quickly, because you will take a lot of damage from ranged units. Now there is this guy here. He should be in range of a zap. 28. Yeah, you should always pay attention to this, because he does have silver blocking on this side and she is here. Can't actually hit him, but with the elf I can move her over here. And now I should have, yep, 100%. He has 6 HP. If I'm lucky, I'll roll the 6. And I did, perfect. And let's see, this skeleton swordsman should be in range of both Abigail and Emmeline. He did block, so he's only taking half damage though. I can activate the slice and dice to actually get a lot closer faster and finish him off. See, this mission's not over yet, but that is pretty much this entire mission completed. Next, we're going to be looking at the overworld portion of the game that I find a bit more interesting. So now that we finished that mission, this is the overworld portion of the game. It's actually what I found quite interesting. You do have this like painterly scene. You have this blue bar here with steps. There's no number attached to it. I just know like if it's yellow, you're mellow, and then you can walk there. That uses up steps, and you're gonna use those steps to explore this overworld. Now, when you do run out of steps, other NPCs in the area also take their turns as well. Bottom left shows your current objective, and it's to visit this tavern. Let's see what that's about. Welcome, dull villagers. The tavern keeper greets you loudly. You clearly need to become better at this heroing business. After a sip of ale and some nonsense brawling, you glance up at the job board, hoping for a chance to prove yourself. There are multiple contracts on the board, and completing them will surely increase your reputation. You feel purposeful again. So as you can see, the UI, it's not all there. They have these like fancy buttons, but everything else kind of missing. So contracts, you get to choose from 3. That's available now. So you fight that. Goblin Hunt. Over there. And Mages and the Breach. That's what was in the story that was mentioned. You have a shop that lets you purchase potions. There's 3 right now. Health, speed, and action. You can recruit new members like this spider, this swordsman, or this skeleton weakling. And you're going to use magic and renown. How do you obtain those? I'll explain right now. So in this map, as you can see, you move around. There's various little things you can go to. There's stuff like these random monsters, which will start a random encounter, but you can see what type of stuff you're fighting. So as you can see here, you fight 5 spiders. There's 8 goblins. You can actually fight the other NPCs, but that does change your relations with the other factions. So as you can see, the Yak Scuffle goblins. Those are these guys over here, and depending on how you treat them, will give you less reputation or more. Legions of the Necromancer are down here. As you can see, we have negative relations with them, which means they will attack on sight, so you don't really have much of an option. Usually with the undead, you don't really have a lot of room to negotiate. So with magic, you obtain that by just going to these basically blue like orb things. That's how you collect magic. You can go to these random encounters, like let's go to that cow. I actually haven't seen that before. What does the cow do? As you can see, everyone else is taking their turn. He's going to the tavern as well. Let's see what this cow has. A cowclops, so majestic. The cowclops calls out to you and explains she is a cowclops princess, and true love's kiss can break the spell and restore one to one's true form. Do you believe in fairy tales? Would you kiss the cowclops princess? Sure, why not? Let's see. You do have a lot of events like these where you get to choose a member to partake in the action. Let's do it with Abigail. Abigail steps forth, exclaiming to have greatly admired her from afar these many minutes, and leans in for the deed. A magical light shines forth, and Abigail becomes a Cowclops too. After much discussion, they decide a clean break is best. They both have separate lives, and there is a world to save after all. Abigail returns to normal through a melancholic version of her, and in time to her full self. However, she has learned and grown much from the experience. She gains +1 level. That's pretty good. I get a new skill. Grab that. Radiant Beacon improves the accuracy of all allies shooting enemies near her. So essentially the meat of the game, in this version at least, is you're going around, you're gaining reputation, you're undertaking quests, you're collecting magic to get stuff, and eventually it has something to do with the breach. I have gone here once, but I got myself in a loop of never winning. Go to this hut. +10 accuracy for the next battle, so you do get these small bonuses like that. Let's see here, I want to find a town. See, he's heading that way. He might go to fight the goblins. Yes. Okay, so there's a town like this. So essentially, these places, oh yeah, this is the troll. We're gonna stay and wait for the troll. And in this case, I have done this event before. What's going to occur now is that these objective areas, like the troll's farm, which this looks like a small village and not a troll's farm, will, if you defeat them, you actually gain a bonus. Each week you will obtain more currency. So let's see, we have 4 enemies that we can see. There's more, they're hidden in the fog of war. Let's see, can we get Emmeline to one-shot this guy? Yup. Easy enough. Oh, and there was actually more over there. Okay, so there's actually a troll. The troll is kind of dangerous. Where's that archer? Okay, the archer is over there, so I don't have to worry about that. Move you into range. Can you? Yep, you can one-shot that goblin. Animations leave something a bit to be desired, but that's not that large of an issue. Let's see, those are 2 brawlers over there. So I should be fine sending Abigail by herself because she can get up close, one-shot the archer, and then fight against the other guys. Drink a speed potion just so she can move further, and let's brace to get rid of some of the damage. That's a good spot with a lot of defense. And we're gonna put, well, I wanted to put her in Overwatch, but I guess that took 2 AP. Yeah, there's the troll. He is a bit tanky compared to the goblins, but I do have 3 heroes right next to it. A miss. 2 range units are over there. Abigail's in a bit of trouble, but she should be fine. Yeah, 12 HP. Let's see. There's nothing I can knock him into, so we're gonna hit him with a zap. For 6, level up. What do I get? Swap and fireball. Let's grab fireball. Let's see. Okay, so that kills the troll. Also a level up for her. Grab frighten. Let's see, Abigail's here. So yeah, one-shot the goblin. They can attack through diagonals, which is very good. Let's see, 27%. So I can't actually hit him. Let's put her in Overwatch. That way, if they move, they're gonna get shot. And this melee one here should move. Okay, nice. That leaves the 2 ranged units. Let's see here. Okay. That will take 2. What's the range on this? Okay, the range is pretty large. Let's see, let's move her right here. And then using the tornado, I can actually push this guy. Oh, that's a really poor chance. Using the fireball. No, that's also really... Moving her into range over here. And then waiting for next turn. Probably a lot better. So slash and dash lets me one-shot this fellow. Abigail can probably get right up close to this guy now. And with her effect on units next to her that move away, that should allow her to one-shot him. Come tree. I actually haven't used this. What does it do? It's exactly what I thought it would do. It became a tree. Why am I not surprised? So now that that mission is completed, as you can see, those side ones can be done pretty fast. So as you can see, the troll, he comes back home, speaks in broken English, and now you get plus 20 magic per week. So you are going around, you're gaining reputation, you're conquering territory to get more money. I assume for some grand goal that will be implemented later. And you're also at the same time fighting with these other factions. Because the other factions, as you can see, it has my flag now. Like how this one, what are they called? The Legions of the Necromancer. They will also fight for territory. And they do not like it when you take their own. Now, we're already bad with them, so it doesn't really matter. But stuff like, let's see, the Beaters, they're friendly for now, but if you start taking over their territory, they might not be later. Now, this is Hummus28 signing off. If the game looks interesting, feel free to check it out through the link in the description. It does have a free demo available to play currently, and the game itself will enter early access on April 26th. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, leave a comment, and hit that subscribe button. I will see you all next time.